Well, today I started a video of my trip up to the steam and gas engine show. And what I did was, it looked like it might rain, so I decided to go up there and make this video. And as I am doing this, I decided that, I'm pretty much trying to get and make this alone, which worked okay, except as I was doing the ride around on the wagons, it was just a little bit noisy, and I didn't know how to muffle that. But it was a fun day for me. The parking lot is huge if you've ever been there. Lots of people, lots of cars. They do a good job of taking people from the parking lot to the show. And what I did was get on the wagon and stayed on it all the way around. And my plan was to hold my camera out in one direction, which I did do quite real well, but it worked. And then I rode along on this shuttle wagon, which was fun to do, but I kept pretty quiet, and I didn't talk to anybody like I would have liked to. But I'm just, if you're with this video here now, it's my ride around the grounds of the steam and gas show. Lots of tractors, lots of people. The weather was really nice. It did not rain until the end, and it had rained previously in the morning. But as you go around there, if you've never been there before, you'll see many golf carts. People rent those. I think it costs about $100 a day. Uh, that's a convenient way to ride around with people. I did talk to one person who said that he had retired last year, and last year they went to 9 different shows similar to this, probably in Iowa, and Indiana, and Illinois, as well as Wisconsin. And this is a show that I've been going to for several years. Old tractors, steam and gas engines. But the man said that the one he enjoyed the most was in Iowa. And his plan, starting to talk with him, was to retire and work on his tractors. And he had like 50, but he decided to sell some of them, and he sold about 30 and still has plenty. But one gentleman that I met some time ago, I asked him how many antique tractors he had, and he said he had 80. So people do collect those things. And of course, when you start collecting, you find one you like, and then you find another that you like, or a neighbor wants to get rid of one and gives you a good deal on it. So a lot of these are tractors that have been restored, and tractors that have been coming out of hibernation. Um, and they do look nice. Most all of them have excellent paint jobs, and they don't run them, I'm sure, not very much, other than to shows and special things like this. So as I'm driving around, I see lots and lots of tractors. My preferences would have been to stop and visit with people, or to visit with the people on the wagon. And of course, when you are with people, you ask them if they want their video taken or their pictures taken, and they always say no. So I shouldn't say always, but many times, until after you get talking with them a little bit, and you can learn an awful lot from people on the wagon. I know there's different stories that many people have, and I just don't have time to, or didn't have time to interview the people and make videos of people that I would have liked to. So we're driving around, and it takes about 15 minutes. And as you can see by this video, I hope it turns out pretty nice. Ideally on a full screen, maybe on TV or full screen on your monitor, it should show up fairly decent. I think the drivers are from the local area, maybe Reedsburg or Lake Delton or Baraboo area. And I don't know if they get paid to do this or they may just volunteer. I didn't get a chance to see a lot of what I would have liked to see just because I didn't want to walk it. The grounds are part of it is a swap meet or where they sell things, which I did not visit, parts for tractors, and people look for old parts for certain things in the restoration projects that they have. I'm going to try and put this video up, and then maybe the second part of the video, or the second video that I put up, might be of the parade that they have. And as I said, you see many golf carts, you see obviously many people walking, and it's a time that as if you've been there before, and some of you maybe have never been to a place like this, but it's a place where people gather and talk about their things, their hobbies, and what they're doing, reminiscent of their old tractors. I did not see the threshing machines working, or I didn't see the sawmill, but those places are fun to watch too for a while. And I did not go into the buildings where they have a lot of the steam and gas engines or the steam engines or whatever. I don't know exactly what's running the some of the old equipment that they have in those buildings. So it was kind of exhausting, but it was really, to me, it was a lot of fun. I got to see several people that I haven't seen. One young man I went to high school with, and he was talking about, immediately got talking about his tour of when he was in the Army right after high school, which would have been in 1960. But he's also in the sawmill business right now. A couple other people I know that work up there in the ice cream business. That's always fun to do. But as I said, this part of my tour was just riding around and trying to make a recording of the ride on the wagon. And obviously, I hope some of the video would kind of explain itself as to what it is. I'm just doing or trying to do a voiceover of the of the show, or of my ride on the wagon, which is not as good as what it would have been talking with the people on the wagon. But like I said, they do not necessarily want to be recorded, so I didn't even bother. And my first plan was to take two trips. One side was to hold my camera on one side of the wagon, and the next trip around was going to hold my camera on the other side. Well, I didn't do it that way. I just kind of was stationed on the very front and tried to hold my camera looking at some of the things. The driver was, you know, very good at, if anybody wanted to stop, he would stop, and people would get on, and other people would maybe get off. But as I said, it was a good afternoon. I was they have the parade at a certain time, and shortly after the parade, I was talking with a friend, and all of a sudden it started to rain, and I did get a little wet, but then the rain quit, and I was wet for the rest of the afternoon, and then I came home. Not directly home, but I think I could stop this video and recording and then restart it again, but I'm gonna let it just play straight to the end and then try to export this video. This is giving me some good practice of doing a voiceover recording and maybe a little editing, but the most part I just wanted to show you that may have never visited a place like this what it is like. Sometimes there's a few old cars, a few old trucks. There is a campground there. People stay for probably a week, maybe close to it. It's fairly close to Wisconsin Dells, so it's a good place for their tourism. Probably lots of activities. And some people will say, "Oh, it's just like it was last year," but it may be, but it's also just like it was, only different. So this is it for this video and this recording. So if you stuck with me this far, thanks. If you haven't responded to subscribing to my channel, that's okay too. I'm still working toward 1,000. I'm not quite there yet, but will be in the near future.